10 new roles have been added to New Zealand's green list. So I'll be breaking down what these roles are, who are eligible to apply, and what this means for you in this video. Keep watching. Welcome and welcome back. I'm your girl, the Sassy Engineer, your favorite Niger Kiwi down under New Zealand. The government made a huge announcement earlier in the month. They announced that they'll be adding new roles to the green list. Yes. June 13, 2025, the government made the announcement that they'll be adding 10 new trade occupations to the green list. And their reasoning is because they want to bring in more migrants to fill in these roles because there is a need for it. Now, if you're new to this channel, you probably are wondering what is the green list. I have a video that explained it in detail. So click the link popping up right now or check the description box to learn about it. But briefly, the green list rule is a list of jobs that New Zealand needs people for. So when they can't get people within New Zealand, they source them from outside. So migrant workers. It's what some countries would call skill shortage list. Same thing. It used to be called something like that in the past, but when they revamped the whole immigration system, they changed names, especially during the time they changed to having only accredited employers employ migrant workers. So they changed the name and the settings of everything to make it very easier and streamlined. So right now, we call it the green list rule. The green list has a list of in-demand occupations, and these occupations are divided into two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. If you have a job or you're working in a tier 1 role, you can apply for residency directly. That is called straight to residency. If you have a job in the tier 2 role, you have to work for 24 months in New Zealand with an accredited employer before you are eligible to apply for residence. That is called work to residence pathway. So under the green list pathway, we have two pathways: straight to residence pathway, all tier 1 roles; work to residence pathway, all tier 2 roles. But regardless of the level that you are, whether in tier 1 or tier 2, you need a job or already working for an accredited employer. These 10 new trade occupations that the government announced will be added to the tier 2 role. So that means that these 10 new trade occupations will be added to the work to residence pathway come August 18, 2025. What does this mean for you? Who is eligible? Let us explore all of that. And the government also said that the median wage threshold for skilled resident visas will also be updated. So we have to stay tuned for that one. Hopefully it's still in August 18, 2025. This means that if you have a job offer or a job with an accredited employer in any of these roles, after 24 months of working in that role, you will be eligible to apply for a work to residence pathway visa. The eligibility criteria for that visa is there online, so make sure that you check with it and understand this so that when the time comes, you are ready to apply to avoid stories that touch the bone marrow. If you need to understand this eligibility criteria for the work to residence visa, I have a video on my channel that breaks it down and makes it very simple. So check the link to that video in the description box, or you can click the one that's just popping up right now. So what are these roles? I know that you're waiting like, what are the roles now? Let us know. Relax. I'm going to list them. Pop them all in the screen as well, but I'm going to read them out. You have the metal fabricator, metal machinist, first class, fitter, general, so general fitter, fitter and turner, fitter welder, pressure welder, welders, in general, I guess, panel beater, vehicle painter, paving plant operator. So if you have a job in any of these roles, from August 18, 2025, you should be eligible to apply for work to resident visa on the condition that you have current employment with an accredited employer and you have worked in New Zealand for 24 months. Which brings us to the next phase. Who can apply for this visa? Let's explore. From 18 August 2025, people working in these 10 trades that I've listed can apply for a work to residence visa if they have a job or job offer in one of the listed green list occupations. So if you have a job or job offer in one of those 10 trade occupations, either of them, then you are eligible. You are aged 55 or under when applying for residence. So it's very important. The age matters here. You meet health, character, and English language requirements. You meet the specific job and pay requirements for that occupation, including earning at least the required applicable wage at the time of the residence application, and having 24 months of full-time paid work experience in a relevant job in New Zealand, earning at least the required green list wage for that role at the time they started it. So you see that you need to meet those two because they use the word "and." So in summary, to be eligible, you need to have a job or job offer in the listed green list occupation. You need to be age under 55 or under by the time you apply, and you need to meet health, character, and English requirements. These are normal stuff for resident visa. Then you also need to meet specific job and pay requirements. They've broken it down here and said that if you get a job or you're working as a metal fabricator, welder, fitter, or machinist roles, you must be earning at least $43.63 an hour, New Zealand dollars an hour, or 90,750 a year based on a 40-hour week. Then if you are working as a paving plant operator, panel beater, and a vehicle painter, you must be earning at least $88.59 an hour, or $80,267 a year. This is the minimum requirement. You can earn above, but this is the minimum that you should earn for these roles. I'll repeat again. For metal fabricator, welder, fitter, and machinist roles, you must be earning at least $43.63 an hour, $43.63 an hour, or you earn $90,750 a year. For paving plant operators, panel beaters, and vehicle painters, you must be earning at least $38.59 an hour, or $80,267 a year. New Zealand dollars is this money that I'm counting. That's the currency. So this is the wage threshold for these roles. Okay, that is a summary of those who are eligible to apply for this work to resident visa. The key point here for these 10 roles is that you are going to be on the tier 2 role, which means that you're eligible for work to resident visa, which means that you need to meet the work to resident visa eligibility criteria to apply. Now, at minimum, this is what you should have. You should have a job or job offer. That one is normal. It is for people who are 55 years or younger. But the very key thing is the job and pay requirements, because it's going to be slightly different depending on the role that you are. Now, I guess that you're probably wondering, what is this work to residence visa and how much does it cost? What, eligibility criteria and all that thing. Eligibility criteria is just exactly what I have listed there. The key thing that is always different among different roles is the specific pay and job requirements. You can go on to green list roles and look at your role, like metal fabricator. What are the specific job requirements? I've already discussed the minimum wage requirements here. So what are the specific job requirements? So here is an example of how you can check out a green list role to see what are the specific job requirements, to know what you need for that role to qualify for this work to residence visa.
So now I am on the green list roles page on Immigration New Zealand website. If you don't know how to get there, just search green list roles INZ and you will navigate your way to that page. What you're going to see is what you're seeing here right now. I don't really have any specific job in mind, so I can just search here tier 2, for instance, and it will bring up all. Well, typically I think there's a glitch in the system, because before it used to just bring up tier 2 roles, but now you're having tier 1 roles. Anyway, it's a new website, so they're probably working out stuff. By the way, the website is very, very nice and very, very simplified and very, very easy to understand than previous. Well, let's focus on what I came here to do. So I'm going to look for tier 2 roles, or maybe I just search the particular role I'm looking for. What you can see here is that fitter is not on the list because they haven't added it yet, because they say they're going to be adding it from August. So that's not there. So I'm just going to look for a tier 2 role, since we are specifically looking at tier 2 roles. Same thing applies for tier 1 roles, but the focus here is tier 2 role. Okay, so automotive electrician, let's look at that. This is a tier 2 role. This is the ANSCO number, which will be changing very soon as well to NOC. Keep an eye out for that one as well. Tier 2 roles eligible for work to residence visa, which is what I'm talking about in this video. You see the industry is under trades. Pathway to residence. If you are working in this role and eligible, you can apply for residence after 2 years of working in New Zealand. This is how much you must earn. You see that one is $31.61 per hour. That's the wage requirement. This is the job requirement, the green list requirements for this automotive electrician. This is what you require. Level 7 or higher qualification. If we scooch over to this one, which is a backhoe operator, still a tier 2 role, we go down here, you see again same requirement to be eligible for residence, but the specific green list requirements for this job, what you can quickly notice is that there is no requirement as to qualification, but there's a requirement for wage, 36.35 an hour or 75 plus annually. Same thing here. This is under construction. They have wage requirements. So for most of these tier 2 roles, most of the green list requirements are usually around wage. It's when you now go to tier 1 roles that you have other extra things like qualifications, certifications, registrations, blah blah blah. That's how you check for green list requirements, the job specific and wage specific requirements for your green list role. Okay,
you're probably wondering, what is this work to residence visa and how much is it? Can I bring my family? Work to residence visa costs 6,450 New Zealand dollars. And yes, you can bring your family on this visa, but you will need to show the relationship that you two have with your partner and with your children. All of this you can do through documents, okay? It is for people who are 55 years or younger, and you need to be working in a green list tier 2 role. The key thing really is about the role, because each role has the specific job requirements and pay requirements. And I've already discussed that in this video earlier on. So if you're just watching from this point, revise. Yeah, so that is in summary of the requirement. So congratulations to people who have jobs in this role or have job offers in this role. This change was supposed to come in last year, February. But for some reason, the government scrapped it. And there were some people who were affected by this. But thankfully, they brought it back. And so those who are still in the country and still having the jobs can apply from August 18, 2025. Whatever the reason that made them cancel, we're not really aware of that, but it's back now. That's what is important. So make sure that you get all your documents ready. When it's time for you to apply, you apply. If you haven't sorted everything out, start sorting it now. For those who just have the job offer. But for you who have been working 24 months, start gathering your documents. And start saving money as well, because it's $6,450. So what does this mean for you who are yet to come to New Zealand? It means that if you have a job in any of these roles, you come to New Zealand and work in that role after 24 months of working full-time, okay? Or unless you have a permanent or fixed contract, there are conditions to that too. Then you will be eligible to apply for residence visa through the work to residence pathway. And once you apply for that residence visa, you become a New Zealand resident. You can live indefinitely, and your pathway to citizenship begins. Okay? But very important, you need a job with an accredited employer. If your employer is not accredited, then they have to sort it out, the accreditation, if they want to support your journey to residency. Okay? I hope this helped. If you have any question, make sure that you pop it in the comment section. If you have not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button to join the community. Click the like button to like this video, because it helps and it shows that you actually appreciate and support the work that is put into making this happen. Until next time, it's your girl, the Sassy Engineer. Toodles.